Hello, this is my video for the 5 greatest films of all time, according to me, as of the 29th of July, 2022. First film on the list is Jaws, which is a 1975 Steven Spielberg classic about a fish and the small bayside town or oceanside town of Amity. Some of the best stuff about it and what makes it great, I think, almost happens by accident. Like the filming process was really difficult, apparently, but the way that Spielberg and the team were able to improvise and sort of change the script and the way it sort of works makes it so great. Like the fact that you don't see the shark for the first hour of the film is a choice that they made, were sort of forced into, but it works so well at building tension. It's almost Hitchcockian. Also, obviously, I have to mention the John Williams score, which is maybe the most iconic, 2 notes in musical history. So yeah, that's what makes Jaws great. Next on the list, this is Spinal Tap, which is 1984 Rob Reiner mockumentary about the band Spinal Tap and their tour of America. They're a failing band. It's hilarious. I don't know much more I can say, really. It's one of the funniest films of all time, and the cultural impression that it's left is like still stands to this day. Like I feel like you hear people turning it up to 11, and this idea of turning it up to 11 is something from this film that you just hear in everyday life 40 odd years later. It's influential. I think it's great because of its influence. Again, the style, the mockumentary film. This isn't the first mockumentary. I'm not sure what the first mockumentary is, but this, for me, and my recollection, is like the greatest mockumentary, the standout. And now basically every modern comedy TV show follows the same sort of pattern. And yeah, this is an example of it being the best. The songs are also incredible. The guys who made this film, Chris Guest, Michael McKean, Harry Shearer, very funny, also very talented musicians. So yeah, just a perfect storm for me. Next on my list is 1996 black comedy crime thriller Fargo by Joel and Ethan Coen, starring Frances McDormand, Steve Buscemi, William H. Macy. I think this is almost a perfect film in the sense that they build this world that is so engaging and so funny and so filled out in less than 100 minutes, and tell this like really interesting, fun, yet dark story in a way that like is, I couldn't think of a criticism. I think Frances McDormand is perfect in this film. She is so funny and so likable, and like she's one of the greatest actors we've had. And this film is kind of like, you would think, oh, it would be beneath an actor of her quality, but she just does it so well and elevates the film to a level that I think makes it great. I could have definitely chosen multiple Coen Brothers films, but I feel like this one is my personal favorite. Next on the list is 2007's historical epic There Will Be Blood by Paul Thomas Anderson, starring Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Dano. On its surface, this is a story about Daniel Plainview and his quest for oil, but the film itself can be read in so many different ways. My favorite being that it's an allegory for like the death of God and the rise of capitalism, and how people stopped, worshipping religions and began worshipping oil and money as the 19th century turned into the 20th century. It's a great film. It is Daniel Day-Lewis's best performance, in my opinion, and he's one of the best actors we've had, particularly in the latter half of the 20th century and so far into this century. It's Paul Thomas Anderson's greatest film, and I think he's one of the best directors we've had in this time as well. I think the cinematography by Robert Elswit is also incredible. Like the scene where the derrick is on fire and they're chasing it around, and the music sort of this weirdly industrial sounds, and the way it all ties together. It's just an absolute masterpiece, and I think it belongs on everybody's greatest films of all time list. Anyway, last one I have is 2017 Jordan Peele's Get Out, starring Daniel Kaluuya. I guess it's a horror thriller kind of movie about a man who gets hypnotized and they try to steal his brain, which sounds like such a ridiculous concept for a movie that really is a statement about like racial politics in America and what it is to be black in America. It's so scary and funny and entertaining all at the same time, but still maintains this like pretty like biting commentary on society. I think it's a really, really impressive debut from Jordan Peele. I like all these films. I look forward to seeing the latest one, Nope, when it comes out next week. But yeah, this film I think is great for basically all those reasons. The ability to tell a story with a message in a way that is so entertaining and so well-rounded. It's just a feat of cinema. Anyway, that's my top 5. Thank you for listening.